Hey everyone, welcome back to Supernatural Signals, my haunted journal series. So, if you don't know, usually I do deep dives on my channels of things I find interesting, usually based off TV shows and movies, which I will get an update about that later on in this episode. But yeah, this is kind of just like my journal where I do updates on anything paranormal and then updates people on the channel and what I'm planning to do for it. Um, I'm kind of an absent-minded person, so uh just documenting my experiences with the paranormal is very helpful for me. I experienced a lot of paranormal activity a while ago, and since then it's kind of trickled down. Um so I guess this journal is kind of threefold. It's helping me kind of have less scripted content and being more comfortable talking, and that's Kitty, and she will be present in these videos. That's my cat. She likes to talk a lot. So if you hear her, you hear her. But I'm trying to be a little more unscripted with these videos, and just kind of like be a little bit more myself. But bear with me because public speaking, even in this format, sometimes makes me nervous. So, and I'm a naturally fast talker, and so I'm trying to I don't know. I'm trying to find a good medium. So I had more of a script for this, but I'm just trying to go with it. So, but yeah, so basically this is kind of updating you on the channel, practice for me to help me, be more comfortable without just reading from a script like I do with my deep dives. I will still be doing those because I do enjoy researching things. And then, updating on paranormal and then updating things on the channel. So that was a very long intro, but again, I will hopefully have a happy medium going forward. Um, so yeah, so that is um basically where I'm gonna start. So again, these are kind of like weird things that happen. Now, of course, if something major happens in the future, I will certainly keep y'all posted as well as those. But as of right now, just subtle things are happening. And I do have a small story that I would like to share. It could just be a technology glitch. I'm always open to skepticism. And honestly, if this happened like the story I'm about to tell, if this happened like, I don't know, like two to 3 years ago, I would be like, that was weird. Like, you know what I mean? And not even think about it and put much thought into it. But um just because of having a lot of paranormal activity happen in a short amount of time, and now things tapering down, I spot them quickly and then I question them more than I used to. So that's kind of where I'm at in my journal with this, in my journey with the supernatural. So with that said, let me kind of go into what I experienced this week and then updates on the channel and then close it out. But yeah, like I said, this is a lot more casual, and I'm sorry for the rambling. But yeah, okay. So let me more move into that, and I'll have that a little bit more scripted. All right. So this week was quiet, like I said, mostly. But then there was a moment that I got that gave me pause. I was in the kitchen making lunch and thinking about whether I needed to send some business documents out. And I wasn't sure if a picture would work or if I needed to do something else to send it out. And these were totally random thoughts. And I also want to emphasize these were thoughts. I do talk out loud a lot, but I know for a fact that these were thoughts. And I, because the reason I say that is with technology, I know phones can hear you for advertisements and things like that and stuff. I don't know if printers have that capability yet. I'm sure they will in the future, but you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, like, you talk to Siri and things like that. This was completely internal thoughts, total random thoughts. So I just want to put that out there. So again, I was just thinking to myself, and I'm an overthinker. So I'm like, well, if I do this and that, that was my thought process, right? And then, like I said, there's this huge printer that's outside of the kitchen. The printer's not even mine. I used it once to actually print documents. I didn't use it for anything else, right? But obviously there's more capabilities. It's huge, right? So, which again, so while I'm making my lunch and thinking about this, it makes a sound out of nowhere and it turns on. And when I walk over, the green scan light is on. Like it was waiting for me to use it. I kid you not. Like, and I'm home like all the time. Like I'm a big homebody. Long story, but I'm a big homebody. I'm always home. Like, and the house isn't big enough to where if it happened, it's a one-story house. So it's like I would hear it if it's like one of those things that just occasionally happens, right? Like it just makes a sound or like recharges or I don't know what printers do, but usually they're silent if you're not working with them, right? Like that's what I know about printers, right? And scanners and whatever else they may do. So it literally and the fact that it had the scan button, the green scan button instead of like cuz again I was thinking like how do I send these documents? I was like should I print that? Like I was just thinking about how to upload them and all that stuff. And literally like it had the green scan button like here you can use me and it was so I ended up not using it. But but still it really I don't know if it creeped me out but because especially after the other stuff I experienced but it definitely made me go okay that was weird. So I wanted to document it and like I said it's not so much that it happened, like, if I wasn't having those thoughts, I probably wouldn't even document it, I would probably just be like, "Oh, that was weird," and move on, but since I was having those thoughts, and then literally I was having those thoughts, the button flashed. I can try and insert a picture. Obviously, I didn't take a picture when it happened, but I can show you a picture of what it looked like. I mean, it's literally just a green screen thing that says scan and it was on. Like, and it wasn't even to the printer one. And the last thing I used was the printer. Sorry, that's my cat, and she's deaf. So if you hear her in these more casual videos, I'm just not gonna re-record it because I don't apologize for my cat. But I'll try and make sure she doesn't scream the whole video. But she's deaf, so and she likes attention. So if you hear that, that's Kitty, and she will be part of these videos. But yeah, so that's what happened to me this week. Like I said, nothing crazy. And if y'all have a technology explanation, I'm all ears for that too. I'm just sharing my experiences and what made me go, that was weird. So yeah, that's for this week. And then let me get into some just updates about the channel. Okay, so if you're listening to this, you're probably like, what I'm hoping to see is like maybe people will eventually find my channel. So maybe like you see like how my content is changing. That's kind of why I'm sharing this for right now. Or for maybe like one person that's listening or whatever. But and also for me, because like I said, I like to keep things in a spot where I can go back and look at things. Um but for my channel, the concept was for me to like watch a show or a TV show about a concept that is interesting to me, if I especially if I had experience with it and things like that, and intertwine it with that concept. And I still want to do that sometimes, but I think I'm gonna move into just using the concepts, and if I happen to know of a movie or if I want to include a movie in with it, add it in there, but that's not going to be the concept going forward, which I started that with my last video that I put out on the solder children. So, like I said, I still probably will be influenced heavily by documentaries because I like them, and movies and things like that. But I think trying to incorporate a movie in there, it gets too convoluted and sometimes it gets repetitive. So, just kind of depending on what I feel, I still want to keep the tagline where the screen meets the spirits because I feel like with YouTube it works. Um, but yeah, so just changing that up a bit. But like I said, I'm a big movie buff and documentary buff, so those will still be in there, just not always for every video. And then, like I said, I'm still working on trying to be scripted versus unscripted. I know this video was super awkward, especially the intro, and I might edit it or I might just leave it as is. But I think now, since I don't have many viewers, it's a good time for me to kind of experiment in that aspect. So if you watch this, because my plan is to keep going no matter what. um, with the views. So, um, like, I'm trying to practice now to get better. So hopefully, you know what I mean? If I do end up getting more views, I will be better at public speaking. So, and being off the cuff there. So, it's kind of weird. I'm good at like, I don't know. It's weird because I'm a big yapper or whatever, but when it comes to like YouTube and trying to keep it professional and also trying to put myself in there, it's hard to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so um yeah, so I feel like I more restricted than just being able to yap with my friends. Let me put it that way. So um trying to find that happy medium, because if I wasn't restricted at all, I would just be yapping for the next 30 minutes. And so that's where I'm at with the channel updates. So like I said, um hopefully I can look at this video and see how I progress with trying to find that line of being restrictive of what I say, and then also still having my personality out there. So yeah. Hang on. Okay. So going back to um everything, just kind of reflecting on it. I wanted to get that story out while it was fresh. And again, if anything else happens this week, I'll probably make another video next week, or I'll make another video next week no matter what. I could just reflect on other things that I experienced, or just if I see something small in the media I think is interesting, I'll add that in there. Um, but thanks for watching either way and hanging out with me. And let me know in the comments if you have anything with electronics act weird, or if anything weird happened to you this week. I can also share that on my channel in this series. And again, don't forget to stay curious and stay tuned to this supernatural. Thanks for watching and have a good day.